I really don't. I have no idea, what that looks like until, we do some more tests and see how they come back. So, um, it's difficult to practice and game plan guys all week and find out on Friday morning before you get on a plane that you're not going to have some, but it is what it is. I think everybody in the country is dealing with it. And this is not the team or place that you want to come to down some guys.
Josh Moore.
Hey, Mark, just it's one thing to watch it on tape, but another to see it in person, just the speed and the way that they move the ball. Do you get a different kind of appreciation? Not just how that trying to defend that, but just kind of the way the game is going, maybe what you guys need to do yourselves going forward with the offense?
Yeah, I'm sorry you were cutting out on me. There's a bad echo in here right now. I caught most of that, I believe. But yes, they're everything that you think they are when you see them in person. Um, they can play physical, big, strong backs with a physical line, and they're explosive getting the ball down the field. Their receivers catch everything that's even remotely close to them. So, very good team. And, again, I don't remember what you want to repeat what you asked me about our offense.
Yeah, I was just seeing it yourself, seeing what they do, and then how does that change, or maybe not change, but as you guys try to evolve the offense, just seeing it in person, how does that change how you kind of look at what you need to do to get there?
Yeah, the first thing is it helps that we do have a run game and we have a presence about us and can be physical, and it opens up some play action. We have to be better at throwing the football. We know that. We understand that. I understand it very clearly, and we're working hard to improve that, and we're going to. You have to. Tonight was a great example of that. I thought our guys really were grinding out some tough yards, first downs, getting it in the red zone, but we couldn't convert it to points. We got to get the ball in the end zone. Missing the field goals doesn't help either.
Mark, obviously you wanted to get Joey and Bo some reps when the score was the way it was. Neither of those guys completed a pass. Was that something they were doing? Was it just the score and situation? What did they take from that performance?
Yeah, it wasn't, the greatest of situations to put either of those guys into it. And we know that, that's a good team. And when they could pin their ears back and they had all the momentum and a big lead and can play very aggressive at that point in time. So it was a tough spot for both of those quarterbacks.
Mark, was there any consideration, or did you think that might be a chance that you wouldn't be able to play this game because of the COVID and your numbers being down?
We didn't consider it. Mitch and I were here, and we weren't near the threshold to be canceled, and we didn't want to do that, and we don't want to do that.
Mark, I'm sorry, I had a little trouble hearing you. I just wondered about all the mistakes that you made, because midway the second quarter, you could have been right there, but you just seemed like you just beat yourself.
Yeah, that was part of my opening statement was, you're going to be in a tough environment from the start. And I thought we did do some good things early, but then the mistakes just, you can't do that against a team like this. I think we have an opportunity to at least go 7-6. Instead, we snap it and lose 40 yards and give them great field position. And, that's a big momentum killer for your team. It kind of deflates you. You can't make those kind of mistakes.
Mark, do you worry, it's been a while since you all have had a loss like this, just as far as the scoreboard. Did you worry about how that set you back, maybe just from a perception from recruits or what have you, or did you put more stock in that than?
I do. No, I do. I don't like it. It's not a good look. It's not something, where we want to be. We are over that, and today you have to give them credit. That's an explosive team. We're dealing with, this is not a team or place you want to come when you're down guys, and that's not an excuse. It's just what it is. We can't afford to practice all week with guys and then lose them on Friday before we get on the plane. It's not good for us. But yeah, I don't like it. And I don't think anybody does, wants to accept that kind of score. No.
Mark, the virus numbers are soaring all over the state, the city, the country. It's not just a football thing, obviously. How do you get through these last 2 weeks with, you've already down some guys, the holidays, players trying to adhere to these protocols when, after a game like this, especially?
We're going to continue to try to tighten it up and adhere to the protocols that we have in place and do the very best that we can. And we want to play. It is what it is. So I'm going to do my best to keep myself and our team safe. We will not put our players at risk, and I hope they don't jump up on us any more than they already have.
Mark, after a game like this, how much is it a balance between a teaching tape and how much do you just throw out because of the circumstances involved?
Yeah, I think you're going to have a fine line there. We got to continue to grow as a program and learn. So we have to hit, on the touch points, and we have to watch this film and point out the mistakes. We're not okay with that. And I think there's a lot of good things you could, I know you're going to, look at the score and say, man, there's not a lot of good things, but there was. There's some early in the game. I thought our guys were playing extremely hard, extremely physical. And, again, we can't make the mistakes. We all understand that. I think it hurts you mentally. It deflates you as a team. And, you can't. We want to be at our best and play at our best when you're playing a team like this. And we didn't do that. So we have to watch a lot of this film and learn from it.
Mark, I think early on, I think it was 3rd and goal, and you guys called a timeout, and then you ran a draw play with Terry. What was going on behind that?
We had a pass concept and a run concept, depending on whether they were going to play too high or not. Whether we had numbers in the run game or not. So that's what happened. Prior to the timeout, we had another play on, but didn't like the look, and so we just tried to gather ourselves and get a good play. And we had a run play and a pass play there, and so went with the Q run game.
Somebody asked about the COVID stuff earlier, and I can't remember if they asked about the game, the injuries that you suffered in the game. Was there anything that you think is going to be lasting into next week with the stuff that happened today, or is that more?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm really not sure. I know we had a few guys banged up. I know DeMarcus had a head injury, and Ty had, sprained a neck or something. So I don't really know. We'll get a good look at it and see where we're at.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Just when you guys had some stuff going there in the first half, just the way those drives ended, just was that deflating or?
I just believe the way they ended, I would have just said like we could have called some better plays or better play calls to get us in a better position. But it's just how the game flow was going. He called what he felt was needed. We had to go out there and execute it, but we failed at that. Oh.
Terry.
Yeah, AJ, you guys were held to just 27 yards in the second half. What do you think was just the biggest change from the first half to the second half?
I feel like we came out flat. I don't think we was as hungry as we was in the first half. I believe that, when they came out and they scored and they got that advantage on us, we just kind of, went flat and died and never, you can't play catch up in this league. So, it was just unfortunate.
AJ, obviously it's been a grind of a season throughout, but now with the COVID stuff kind of finally catching up with you guys and a game like this with that score, how do you stay focused these last 2 weeks and make sure, this doesn't spiral?
We can't control who catches the disease or get traced. It would have been great to have our full team here and have the players that was missing here, but we only can control what we control, and that's to go out there next week, get a game plan, execute it, go out there and play to our best ability. I just feel like, just been a rough year as far as football, the COVID disease, and all around. But we're doing the best to make the most of it.
Larry Bott?
Yeah, AJ, just curious, when you talk about, you thought you could have called better plays down there in the red zone. What kind of things did you see that maybe you all didn't take advantage of there?
I mean, we didn't take advantage of being in the red zone. We definitely could have called some plays, even the game out, balance the game out, run, throwing. We missed opportunities, and field goals and things like that. But that's just how the game go. Can't dwell on it. Got to move forward. Got another big matchup this week, and we're gonna do what it takes to win this game.
John Clay?
AJ, when did you guys know that you weren't going to have Chris Rodriguez and Fortner and those other guys, so that they were not going to be able to play? And how much of an effect do you think that had on the team when you guys found that out?
We didn't find out till later in the week. It's unfortunate, but players and different teams dealing with that all around the country. So we had me and Smoke, Juton and Tisdale. As far as our position, we got to go out there and compete. And it was unfortunate that this disease is here and this is the time we're living in. But this stuff happened all around the world. We just got to take it and run with it. And I feel like that's why we got 2 deep, 3 deep depth chart to keep going.
Okay, anyone else before I let AJ go? All right, thank you. We'll have Josh Paschal in just a second.
Appreciate it.
John Hale?
Josh, obviously it's been a grind of a season, but with the COVID stuff kind of catching up with you all in a game like this, what's just the message these last 2 weeks to get through this and make sure it doesn't spiral out of control?
Just to bounce back. We got to give credit to Alabama. They're a great team. And when you play the number 1 team in the country, they're an explosive team. They rely on their explosive plays, and they had a lot of those today. And, of course, we're a little short-handed this week, but, that can happen this season with COVID. It's a different season than usual. So the next guy just has to step up. And, I'm proud of the guys who did step up, who were thrown in those situations and whatnot. But, we had to get better. This isn't acceptable. This isn't a part of our culture, and this is not who we are. So, of course, we're going to have to learn from that. But we have another top 5 team next week against Florida. And so we're going to have to bounce back against them.
Josh Moore?
Josh, was this something, their speed and all the guys they have at receiver that just, you can seem like they can make anything that gets thrown to them. Was that something you were able to replicate really well in practice this week? And how was it different seeing something like that in practice compared to today out there in the field?
Of course, Alabama has a lot of weapons and they have a lot of depth. And as football players, as college football players, that's something about Alabama, and that's something that we stress in practice as well. But of course, it's a different speed when you get out there in that game time situations. And like I said, I gotta give credit to Alabama, to their players, to their coaches, and things like that. They played a hell of a game today, and I just gotta give credit to them.
Larry Bott?
Yeah, Josh, when we were talking with AJ, he said he thought, speaking for the offense, they just went flat and died in the second half. What about on the defense? Did you feel like you guys had any let down or anything in the second half?
As a defense, of course, their offense was very successful tonight. But as a defense, we had to really pick each other up. It was a time where nobody likes losing. Nobody's like getting blown out at the end of the day. And so as leaders on that team, we had to, lift each other up. When the young guys got in, we had to coach them up as well. And, this today is not acceptable. I want y'all to know that this is not acceptable for us. We know that as players, as a whole football team, as a whole organization, as leaders, we are going to put that on the young guys, so the young guys know that this isn't acceptable. This is not who we are. This won't happen again. And we need to, we're just going to really hone that in on the young guys and everybody else.
John Clay?
Josh, you kind of answered my question with that answer right there. 'Cause I was going to ask you, you're one of the leaders on the team. What's your message going to be to your teammates over these last 2 weeks? You kind of answered it there. Okay, let me ask you another question though. When you guys did find out that these other guys were not going to be able to make the trip, your teammates, what kind of effect did that have on the team as a whole, you think?
Of course, missing a couple of guys who are starters and who make a huge impact. Of course, you're like, Nate, I wish they're out here with us. But at the same time, you're in a hostile environment and you're going to a hostile environment. So you really just gotta, it's like I said, say next man up and trust that the next guy is gonna do his job. And really just it's all about trust when it gets to that point. You gotta trust your brother next to you and trust your teammate.
Okay, anything else for Joshua? All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.